Thursday, February 20th. Trends, a good friend. This day was pretty straightforward. It also helped that after returning from a 2-week break, I was able to execute trades patiently and without emotions. For the first trade, I was waiting for a short opportunity. I wanted to wait for price to reject off of this line, but after getting a candle close rejecting from the zone, I decided it was good enough and I entered short. Price quickly went my way and I waited to see what was going to happen at the bottom. When it closed weakly below, I added another contract and moved my stop to profit. It almost stopped me out and I took that opportunity to add another contract for low risk. When the dump slowed down a bit, I made sure to lock in some profit and I continued waiting until it hit my take profit. Finally it did and I added another contract. Then I quickly got rid of one when it seemed to find support. Finally it stopped me out by a point and continued. I wasn't going to let that deter me, so I re-entered. A god candle soon appeared and hit my take profit exactly. Then I was able to re-enter again, but for an even better price this time. It very quickly continued dumping and I went on the 15-minute time frame to see where I should set my target. I continued trailing closely and finally it hit my 50-point target and bounced from there. Being up $236 on the day, I quickly locked myself out so as to not ruin that and took a deep breath. Later price continued down, so I was a little bummed I didn't leave on a runner. But we all gotta exit somewhere and I was very happy with my profit. This was a fantastic day of trading. Who would have thought that going with the trend and being patient would pay off? Of course, it's not as simple as that and most days don't have such obvious trends. But I'm glad I was able to trade this day correctly. It's easy to critique the trades now and be disappointed that I didn't just hold instead of constantly exiting and re-entering. But had I held and had the trend flipped, I would have been much more disappointed that I had profits and I let them go. Looking back with hindsight, you could have always done something better, but I find being okay with imperfection makes the process much easier. You'll never get it perfectly, and that's fine. What was good about this trading? Finally, I can say that my trading was mostly good. I read the market very well, I went with the trend, stayed patient and took profit properly, re-entered when it made sense, and added size to a winner. What needs improving? My stop was a little too tight, which caused me to almost get stopped out a couple of times, and actually get stopped out once. It was very nice to come back from a break and finally trade well for once. Admittedly, the day was pretty easy to trade, but it did give me a much needed confidence boost and taught me the great power of taking breaks. This was such a drastic change in my trading that I think even in a couple of years I'll look back on this period and admire it for showing me the potential of good trading and for giving me a much needed morale boost. Trading is anything but linear and periods like this demonstrate it beautifully. Thanks for watching and hopefully you learned something. This has been Nimble Trading.